is such a special place. You can be from anywhere in the world and you'll be welcomed with open arms.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Breaking Bread, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of the best and most exciting food scene in the UK. I'm your host Liam. Sitting beside me as always is my brother from another mother, Carl.
Hello.
Brilliant episode for you today. I'm really excited for this one. I think it's fair to say Matt's one of my favourite chefs in the city at the minute.
Yeah, Matt Wilden, he's just absolutely smashing everything he touches. Absolutely everything.
Yeah, doing awesome things. So on this episode, we find out, is it ever too late to go and retrain as a chef and start a career for yourself in this industry, drop everything and just go for it like Matt does? I mean, he starts at 26. It's not that old now when we're like in our late 30s.
Not old thinking about it now, yeah, 41, Jesus.
Yeah, that's not old now, but like most chefs by 26, they're already climbing that ladder.
Been doing it 10 years.
They're looking for head chef. And,
yeah.
And Matt's just starting out, but he did not let that stop him in the slightest. So we talk about some of the challenges he's faced in his career before finally getting, I don't know if you say a dream role, but he loves his job, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He absolutely loves being head chef. And I feel like that's a disservice. It kind of feels like more than that to Polly. He's an essential part of Polly.
Yeah. But he's knocking out some of the best pizzas in the city.
100%.
I'll go 5 in the city. I've had all the fancy London pizzas recently. I've been trying all of them. And Polly's miles ahead better than all of the ones I've had down there.
I don't know why I got it in my head that you go in, sit down, order it, take a bite and go, it's shitter than Polly.
Shit off my table. I'm going back to Birmingham.
I'm going back to King's Inn.
I'm going back for a proper pizza. Your London style.
Yeah, London style. That's an actual thing as well.
I know.
So stay tuned to hear Matt's inspirational story. Listen to his just thirst for learning and persistence. It's always paid off. It's inspiring no matter which stage of life you're in. Just get out there and do something that makes you happy. That's what you get from this episode.
Yeah.
Awesome. But first, let's introduce our awesome sponsors. First up, really proud to be sponsored by Burning Barn Rum. Family-run, award-winning, local craft rum. Just really great company, really great rums. Some of the things they're doing now is unreal. They're little, what do they call them? Little special bottles. They've got the coffee spot special.
They're always doing something different.
Yeah.
They're not like, they're doing something you've not seen before as well.
Yeah.
She's also throwing in as seen on TV.
As seen on
As seen
TV.
on TV,
Yeah. Not just on our show, on actual real telly. No, they're fantastic. The effort they put into making these gins, the real ingredients that go into them. If you've got a local bar or restaurant, you need to stock these local people doing brilliant stuff like this. And if you would like to, obviously there's links in our show notes. So go sign up there, go get them in at your place because we want to see them. Secondly, our awesome sponsor, Easy Food. They're a big part of the Easy family, of Stelios fame and EasyJet and all that jazz. They're on a mission to just save you restaurant, food delivery businesses of all kinds. They're on a mission to save you money. Stop giving away so much of your hard-earned cash. You do all the hard work, and then one of them big apps comes in and takes a big percentage away from you. Well, they're not doing that. They're charging a flat fee. No nonsense. You put the hard work in, you keep more of your own money. It's a no-brainer. If you want to sign up to that, you guessed it. The links are in our show notes. So thanks to both our sponsors. Anyway, Carl, how you been?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, really good.
That's great.
That's great. I'm glad to know.
I'm over the moon. You're great.
No, I generally am brilliant.
Yeah, I'd be sad if you weren't.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. I've been out exploring and stuff, having a look at getting some food places in.
Where you been eating?
But do you know what? Seeing as this is our episode with Matt,
yeah.
we may as well talk about all the times that we've eaten with Matt.
May as well.
I mean, Polly, if we mentioned every time we went to Polly, it would just be a Polly-sponsored podcast.
I think it goes without saying, really, about the Polly one. We've mentioned it so many times.
Yeah. And I talk about in the episode about how yeah, I love that I went in like the first couple of weeks, and then I feel like I've been a few times every year, and you can see the progression of them like that. Like they're just getting better all the time, and I love that.
It's not even that, just the roast dinners. How good are them?
I forgot about how do I even forget?
Ah,
about
yeah,
the
we have
roast
mentioned that
dinners?
while we were doing the little prep before this.
Yeah,
Thought you had
no,
mentioned the roast dinners.
all
I'll
about
throw
the
that one
roast
on him.
dinners. Literally my favourite roast dinner in the city. I love it.
Yeah, I'd struggle to. I'd say it's up there, definitely.
Yeah. I
It's
think-
delicious. It's a bit different as well. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, I love everything about it. But yeah, but another place where we've done the his pop-ups. If you ever get a chance to do his pop-ups, you've got to have. It's just an experience, isn't it?
The only reason I won't go is if I can't go. If there's a pop up and I know that I'm
physically.
gonna, if I just can't at something else, or
If I can't get out of bed.
if I'm not in the country,
Yeah.
But if I'm here and I can go, 100% going to his pop ups. His pinata one that we talk about that quite a lot on the episode. That's fantastic. We didn't get to talk about his fried chicken pop up because he hadn't done it then.
No, I
But we tried that the other day, didn't we? At Deadbeat.
Deadbeat. Hip hop and fried chicken. I mean, it's a
Oh,
good
man.
combination from anyone.
I mean, there's fried chicken and there's fried chicken.
That was a feast as well.
That was incredible. Gravy, hot sauce,
Yeah.
burnt butter, mashed potatoes.
That mashed potato alone, like.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Then you got like the fried chicken, 3 pieces.
Fermented
So
hot sauce.
crispy.
Both parts of the wing. Do you notice that? Both parts of the wing.
Full wing, as it
Mate.
should be.
It was big. It was wicked.
It was a highlight, I think.
Yeah,
I
I
really
mean,
liked
We
it.
both loved Deadbeat. No secret there. And we went to his Pinata one at Cork and Cage
Yeah.
early on in the year. That was just the lamb birra.
Yeah. Oh, and I remember me drinking it out of the tub.
Oh.
It's there.
Yeah,
It's
that
there
was
to be drank.
unreal.
You know what I mean?
And then you mentioned it as well, the Banoffee Mezcal.
Mezcal Banoffee, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love mezcal anyway, to be honest.
It's just interesting. I mean, we do talk a lot about it to him, and you get deep into what influenced him to do this Mexican food. But I'm glad he did.
You know, it's whatever he does, whether it's the roasts, the pizzas, the Mexican, the fried chicken. He goes so deep into the details of how to do it. He doesn't want to just do it. He wants to do it the absolute best anyone can do it. And it really, really shows.
Yeah, definitely. And it's improving all the time. Same as the pizzas. Every pop-up we go to, it's better every time.
Yeah, it's only going to get better and better.
Yeah, absolutely love Matt. So with that, we don't really need to do any more intro than
That's
that,
the
really.
intro, innit?
We've bigged him up loads. Massive thank you for Matt to do this. Appreciate that. Appreciate Polly for letting us film there. Appreciate you for listening or watching. If you do love it, do us a big favor. Like, subscribe on whatever format or software, whatever the hell you're listening or watching this on. And go and tell a friend and recommend us to as many people as possible, because we're really trying to push this narrative that Birmingham's like an awesome place.
It is awesome.
Don't believe what people are writing negative about it. It's a great place.
You know, I think it's getting more and more renowned. You speak to more and more people from places and they're like, yeah, Birmingham. Yeah, I'll come to
Yeah.
Birmingham. There's a few places on people's lists now.
Yeah, I would hope so. I would think so. It deserves to be.
Should be.
Yeah, definitely should be. So brilliant. Hope you all enjoy. Matt Wilden. Yeah, so thanks for inviting us down to Polyman, place that we love anyway. How's things?
Good, I suppose. Busy.
When's a chef not busy though? Like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, it's saying that it's strange because even if you're not that busy, you're still busy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, there's always something to do. I suppose that's what's good about it, and also shit about it as well.
Do you watch The Bear?
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you get stressed watching it? Does it bring back bad memories? Like bad?
Not really,
No.
but like you can relate to some of it. Some of it's obviously dramatized and that, but
Yeah.
yeah, everyone says that. Do you watch it? And I enjoy it though. Some people like pick it apart, but I just watch it for what it is.
Well, it is.
It's good telly. It's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
sad.
yeah.
It's
It's got a bit of everything. Got a bit of everything.
It's a little bit like Atlanta as well, where each one's sort of filmed differently.
Yeah,
They're not all
yeah.
the same formula through every episode. 'Cause
Yeah.
There was that one episode in the new series, and it's just there's not really much talking in it or no story. It's just flashbacks of his career.
It was
and
great.
stuff.
Yeah, that was one of the
Yeah.
best episodes. I thought.
That's a
Yeah, I
great
thought it was
episode,
great.
yeah.
And my wife turned around and was like, "Is this episode started yet?"
My favourite episode was the fridge, actually, when he was locked in
With
the
the,
fridge.
on the last season.
And then the argument, you knew the argument was coming, and you could see them
Yeah.
falling apart. And then when they were just at each other at the door, you were like, "Oh my god!"
I love the Christmas episode where they're sitting around having dinner.
yeah, just
Yeah.
like one
Oh,
take.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
incredible.
That's intense. And what was it? The first one where it's all the checks coming through after the review, and there's just like you can just feel it boiling up.
Did you ever have dreams about the old ticket machine?
You like hear it, yeah.
Yeah, I used to. Like,
Yeah, this one's quiet, so this one's not too bad. But like, there's plenty of places where it's just, you can just hear it.
They've like turned the volume up just to keep everyone on the edge.
have you seen what they do at Spoons? It's horrific. It's not tickets. It's a TV screen.
Yeah,
And after I think 10 minutes, it turns red. After 15 minutes, it beeps.
I really.
So you get the beeping like at you.
It's telling you how
like,
shit you're doing.
on a Saturday afternoon when it's all red, nothing but red, and then it starts beeping. You're like, shut up! And the manager comes in. We can hear you. We know you can fucking hear us. Get out! Yeah, stressful. But I used to have dreams all the time. Sometimes I still do about like ticket machines or the screens and stuff. PTSD.
Repentant. It's just constant, isn't it? Every time you hear it, and it's all the time as well. Especially when you're busy, when you're working like hotels and stuff. It's constant. Then it's just.
I suppose if you own the business, though, it's a different noise altogether. That's pound signs coming in your eyes.
yeah. But the Uber one's the worst one because it just chimes, doesn't it? It's just like that
Is
is
that what it
the
is?
worst.
The chime?
That's just the worst one, and that's loud as well.
Oh.
And when you're busy and that comes on, you're just like, yeah. But yeah, it is
How
what
do you
it is.
find that? Because obviously people come in here and you get to see the reactions of these awesome Sunday dinners and the amazing pizzas and stuff you do. Obviously, you're sending these pizzas out and you don't know how they're going to turn up, if the car's how long it's going to take to get there. Is that a bit of a weird feeling? So you're giving it away and you don't know what's going to happen?
Yeah, because obviously you want people to have the product as intended, which pretty much means a minute or two after it comes out of the oven. So yeah, it's pretty strange when you send it off because you don't know what state it's going to get in or condition it's going to get in. Like you say, how long it's going to take. So yeah, is the quality still there? We still get like a lot of good reviews from the takeaway ones, but ideally you want to come to the restaurant to have it at the best it can be, I guess, the peak. So yeah, but Uber's one of those, I think for a lot of people that was kind of necessity over lockdown and then people kept with it. But like all the rising costs and everything like that, it's died down a little bit because of all the percentage they take and all that type of thing. It's not as busy as it used to be. And I think that's like everyone. So yeah, it's one of those things. We did it at the start too because we needed it, and now we've just kept it on. If I didn't have to use it, I wouldn't. But it's kind of like on a slow weekday, you get it on. If you get it through, then it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean?
Shameless plug for one of our sponsors, but Easy Food. They're definitely worth having a look at. You know, they do a flat fee as opposed to a percentage.
Yeah,
So it's like £1.50
Yeah.
flat fee as opposed to a percentage, sometimes 40% or 35% or whatever Uber or Just Eat or Deliveroo
it
charge.
definitely
I'm
would
sure.
be a.
It's definitely worth.
that in. That's nice.
That was
Smooth,
nice.
that is,
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
was,
Yeah, smooth,
yeah.
that is.
Harm, you're welcome.
Just finessed it. Didn't you?
So we like to start kind of by going way back. I'm going to take a guess. You're not originally from Birmingham?
I'm from Wollaston, Stourbridge.
Stourbridge.
Yeah, the Black Country.
See, sometimes I do class nearly all of the Midlands as Birmingham,
Yeah,
but I don't know
yeah.
if I'm that brave to claim a lot of the Black Country.
Yeah, they,
They're a passionate
yeah,
crowd.
yeah. And whenever you go away and you say Stourbridge, you might as well just say Birmingham because it's the only kind of place that everyone knows.
Yeah, people don't know
but
anything
yeah.
else.
But it is what it is. Yeah. So but I've been here on and off for the past 13 years since I started cooking. So yeah, used to travel in to UCB, and those were long days, man. Long days.
I bet, yeah.
But yeah, so no, not from Birmingham originally.
I just guessed with the Arsenal, and then I didn't think your accent was like proper.
Yeah,
blooming.
Arsenal's weird because I didn't used to like football, and then when I started playing, it was just the team I picked. No, nothing. Probably because they were like when Thierry Henry and all that was started to come through. But that was like probably like 98 or something.
Was food a big part of growing up?
Yeah. Believe it or not, when I was younger, I was really fussy. I never used to eat anything. And then it obviously grew. Used to go around my grandma's and she used to have like a curried goat and stuff like that. And I didn't want any of the meat. I literally used to just eat rice and peas and the sauce and the bread. And then at some point it was just gone on. I think it's, believe it or not, like, it gets a lot of slack, but like Jamie Oliver, used to watch his shows and used to watch like Ready, Steady, Cook and all these type of things. I've always had like an interest in him. And obviously it just grew at some point to what it is today.
You know what? So many people have said Ready, Steady, Cook as an influence.
Yeah. I think like when you get back from school, it was just there. And,
it and it was interesting. You want to see what comes out of that bag, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and big characters like Ainsley and some of the other chefs. Like, it was really cool. And obviously you're like, can they do that in that time? And obviously when you can't cook, you're like...
When like a carrot and a tin of tuna comes out of the bag, you're like, what the fuck am I going to do this?
That's the one. It's always been a big part. But yeah, I was really fussy when I was a kid. I didn't used to eat pizza, man. There you go. That's
no way.
When we used to go to Pizza Hut on a rare occasion, like a treat, you should just eat the garlic bread. And then I'd never used to eat the pizza, which is everyone's like that, I guess. No, they're not, are they? Actually, it's just probably fucking. Yeah.
So when did you start like getting more adventurous with your food?
Just before I turned 20, started to cook a bit. I think it was actually like watching the things on TV. And then there was more and more, and then I was like, okay, and then brought a cookbook. Then you start doing a recipe, and then when you see someone be able to cut something or cook something really well, then you try and mimic that, and it just goes and goes and goes. I started cooking for people, but not like loads, just like house friends and family and stuff. So it's always been there.
What kind of things were you cooking?
More pasta and stuff. I remember starting off on. I didn't used to eat much meat. So yeah, a lot of pasta, a lot of sauces. Then it was more like making your pasta fresh, making like a lasagna and taking like a day and doing that type of thing. So it's like building up to those sort of things, I guess.
So when did you decide you were going to be a chef?
I started really late. I started when I was 26. I'm 39 now. So I did some things when I was younger. And basically I realised I had to do something that I loved. And eventually it was like, I want to cook. That's what I love doing. Like, it got to a point where I was cooking all the time. And so I signed up to UCB. So that was pretty strange going there as 26 and everyone was 16. That was a bit funky, but yeah, I got through the 3 years and carried on from there.
Sometimes they do have mature students and
stuff. They do, but it's really good. Like, a lot of people say, do you need it, do you not need it and stuff like this, and I've always spoke highly of it, and I felt I learned a lot from there. Some of the tutors are incredible. So if you want to apply yourself, which I didn't that much because I had to work full time and do my college full time, and they're like 100-hour weeks coming back from like Wollaston and Starbridge to Birmingham every night. It was a lot, and I probably wasn't the best student even at 26. I worked at Hotel de Van.
Okay.
Which at the time was really good. There were some really good chefs there, and it felt right being there because a lot of the techniques we were learning at college, like all the French classic techniques, you were putting some of them into practice in work. And there was some guy. Obviously, it's a big old team, so it's a bit crazy in there, but no, it was good, fond memories. That's where I met Ellie as well. Ellie was in my class at college, so we've been friends since then. And I don't know how we've stayed friends because, like, I'm 10 years older, but she came to work at Hotel de Van as well.
You said 26 at the time. You probably thought you were mega old compared to everyone else, but at this age now, I look at 26 and go,
it's nice, isn't it? I wish, yeah.
No, it's not old at all.
Yeah, it was probably a good time to start. I kind of think like it was the right time because everything's worked out, and which it worked out well, and like I kept through it. Like I did look at it years prior, but I never followed it through. And I kind of think that if I did it when I was younger, I probably wouldn't be in the position I am now. I think it's probably just the right time. It's funny how it all works out.
What did you go and do then?
I think I stayed at Hotel de Van for a bit, and I worked at Opus for a year.
Yeah.
That was another kitchen, very regimented, learned a lot. The guys had been there a long time, knew what I was doing. It was like a machine. Yeah, that was graft as well.
It was a busy place, you know, like
big as well.
lunch
for the food they're putting out. It's a big old place. Yeah.
I think it was COVID that kind of done them over in the end, wasn't it?
Because you got to think. I'm guessing it's not cheap being down that end, and it was a big old space. The kitchen was huge.
Yeah.
The restaurant was big, and it hasn't done anyone favors really. Like some people are still recovering from.
Yeah.
A lot of people haven't gone back to what they've wanted to see. Like it's affected everyone, obviously. So you can see that from all the closures, and everyone's struggling or trying to adapt still after however many years.
Yeah, that one was a shock though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a proper shock.
Some of them do hurt like that, like Laggies the weekend. Like,
Wow. That's closing. That's a shock.
Yeah, big shame that is. So, how long did you stay at Opus?
A year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, is that when you came here?
No, I've done a lot of things. I went to work at a bakery for a year to train how to do bread and sourdough and bits and pieces. And then I had a little break, I suppose, only for like just over the Christmas period. Then I went to work at the Physician.
Yeah.
All right.
That was literally a tie-over job. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was just to get some work. Went to Copenhagen, not to work, to holiday. This is a strange story. I went to Copenhagen and I loved war pigs.
Yeah,
And then I come back, and then someone was like, "Oh, I know someone that's been to Copenhagen. He wants to open something like War Pigs, and he needs a chef." And it was Sham. So that's how I made friends or become friends with Sham. Due to we both went to Copenhagen, I think like a week apart, and we both really liked the restaurant. And then obviously he's created this incredible thing with Bonehead.
Because they collabed there last year.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It was
isn't
like
They
a dream
went all
come
the way
true
over,
for
yeah.
you.
I was trying to get over, but no, it didn't happen.
Yeah, I was thinking
We were
about
all
it.
trying to get over it. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a great space, that War Pigs.
Yeah, we were like, we'll do a podcast out there. It'd be great.
So you never fancy taking on the role at Bonehead?
Hopefully he won't kill me for this, but I was going to be the guy that opened. It was originally going to be a pizzeria.
Oh wow!
And then he wanted it to be fried chicken, and it's kind of, we just went our separate ways. Like and then that was that. Like, so obviously I've specialised. I do pizza, and he went a different direction, which is turned out incredible.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's the best place in the world. As far as I'm concerned.
It's,
I'll tell anyone and everyone they'll listen. It's the best place ever.
Yeah, it's doing well, and obviously it's well
You've
deserved.
popped up a couple of times there still.
Saying sorry?
You've popped up a couple of times.
Yeah.
Still.
A couple of fish bones.
I've never tried this.
Have you not
Everyone
done that?
raves about it.
Yeah, like the last one was actually 3 days before we got locked down. But yeah, there's so much like the first one, because that was the first pop-up I've done out of Poly, as in not in this building, was so much pressure, and that's pressure you put on yourself. But everyone seemed to love it, and I just remember playing Grime as loud as possible, and you either had people loving it or fucking hated it, and you get the comments of like, the meal was incredible, but the chef's got a shit taste of music and all that. So it is what it is. We can't please everyone, can we? So
Well, it's one of them. I can imagine a lot of people that go to Bonehead that just hear how good it is going. I mean, it's our type of music, so we're like perfectly happy listening to rock and metal all day.
yeah.
I imagine a lot of people go in there just like,
What the fuck is this?
when you're in there, you're looking around, people that don't really look like the people that go there.
Yeah.
Having a nice meal and they look like they're enjoying it. You speak to them and they're like, yeah, it was banging.
But I think what makes it special is everything is what it needs to be. Do you know what I mean? Like the start lighting, the music, the food, it all comes together to create, a juggernaut, basically. It's great.
So you were Opus. Let's go back.
No, we passed Opus.
Yeah, we
You're
passed
at
Opus.
Yeah,
then you've gone past there.
But I want to know how you got into pizza. That's what I want.
Yes.
So trying to baking for a bit. Through baking, obviously messed with pizzas, but nothing serious. Then after Sham, I went to Baked in Brick. I was there for a year. It was hard for numerous reasons. By the time I left, there was one staff member gone every week. Like I think when it were open, I was there a year, did some festivals and bits and pieces, and then there was one gone every week for the year. So when I left, I was the only person to actually hand a notice in, do the notice, and leave on my own accord. People either walked out or were just dashed off. And from there, I started, well, before that, sorry, keep going back and forth. I bought myself a rock box and threw bacon and stuff, did some pizza at home. I was like, I can do this. I'm going to go and work for myself on the spot and do some pizzas. And I got offered a few spaces. And then, anyway, back to Baked and Brick. Yeah. So I worked there for a year and I run the kitchen. Met some lovely people there. At the end of that, I was going to then finally go and do something for myself. I always used to drink in Grace and James because my partner lived just around the corner, basically. And used to go in like a Sunday. They always asked how I was and what I was doing and stuff like that. Then one day I went in and said I left. I was going to go and do something myself. And then after about a week or so, I got a message saying, do you want to come in for a chat? And the rest is history, I guess. I've been here 5 years.
Wow. So it was really that simple.
The only hard thing was to decide if I wanted to work with someone again or go and try something on my own. But I was given assurances like freedom, and obviously Henny and Sophie are great. They've just let me create the menu and the food and never put no constraints on me or anything like that. And they were just happy to let me cook, build the team. This is where we are now. Like I say, July we've been open 5 years. So that's a very long time in one place in what you want to call as a chef. Yeah. But I've learned a lot. And sometimes it's been incredible. Sometimes it's been hard. Obviously, COVID. Yeah, it never gets easier.
I can't believe it's only been 5 years. This place has been open. It feels like it's always been
It
out.
feels like it's always been out.
Yeah,
I think that's just the amount of pizzas I've eaten.
Yeah, 5 years. It feels. Now I'm thinking of it. Yeah, it's a long time. So that's a lot of pizza. Yeah.
I would dread to think how many you've made in that time. It's going to be thousands.
We used to keep track on every quarter how many margaritas, how many hot sauce, how many this, that, the other. Yeah, it's going to be shitloads. So too many. I say too many. We can always make more.
Was it hard going at first when you opened?
Yeah, I always put a lot of stress and pressure on myself because I want things to be as good as they can be. So that's more coming from myself. I remember when we had the friends and family, and it just went a bit tits up, just because when we had the checks, the whole check, basically normally now we'll have small plate starters or bits and pieces, then it'd be broke down to pizzas and it'd be broke down to something else. But the checks were coming through and everyone, it's first day, so the orders were massive, and it was just this massive long list, so reading it was just absolutely atrocious. And I remember Henry and Sophie called me in for a meeting the very next morning, and they were like, fucking hell, what have we done? And I just said, change this and this, and then more or less every service since has gone pretty smooth. Obviously there's some hairy ones, but yeah, just that little change, tweak. Well, that's what you have the friends and family for. People didn't mind. It was good, it was great. But yeah, a lot of pressure in the first few weeks. We were full like every day for months, and it was crazy. It was yeah, good vibe and everything. So yeah, it's
How much say did you have on like the interior and stuff of the restaurant?
it was kind of more because when we took it on, it was basically just a shell, and I didn't have too much of a say in the interior, just more like the dimensions of the kitchen space, and if I like the name and stuff like this, which we do obviously. So yeah, not too much of the decor or anything like that. Or showing bits and pieces, and it was like, yeah. But yeah, I had more to say of how the kitchen would run or what we needed, and the flow of that was obviously integral to what I wanted, if you know what I mean.
Were you happy that the kitchen was going to be in the middle of the dining room?
Yeah, I kind of think like, well, it's strange because when every time I walk, like, because we got bits at Grace and James and obviously here, anytime someone sees me, they're like, he looks terrifying, or he looks like he's an angry bastard. So I'm just like, I'm at work. Like, you see me all the time. I mean, normally I'll just be hidden away in the kitchen and stuff. And it's not like I'm just focused or running to get something. But people are like, fucking hell, is he all right? And it's like, yeah, I'm absolutely fine. You're like, all getting pissed and I'm here working all the, you know. It's, yeah, it's, yeah, I don't mind it, to be honest. And I like to see, it feels strange now. Like when I did the kitchen upstairs, when I couldn't see anything, it felt a bit weird. Now I can be like, okay, check a table, this or this, that, the other. And, you know, I can help out or speak to people. So no, I don't mind it, to be honest with you.
I think people like seeing it as well.
Yeah.
I definitely do. I think you do as well.
Yeah,
we
of
like.
course we
I mean, I'm just nosy. I'll
Yeah,
sit
yeah.
in the kitchen if I can.
Yeah, every time I go to eat, it's kind of like I'll sit at the bar, I'll sit see what's going on. When you first think of it, it can be a bit weird, or if you've never done it before, then you could probably be like, I don't want to be in an open kitchen, but no, it's nice, it's good. And I think you grow from it as well, because you can't hide. I guess.
Was it always going to be pizza?
Here?
That was the idea. It was
Yeah,
we want to open a
but it was
pizza
going to be
place.
a lot simpler. Like when we opened originally, we had like a small plate menu, which is quite big, and the pizzas, and then that's what took off and everyone liked us for, so we kept with that. But yeah, it was always going to be pizzas. Yeah. I think Henry and Sophie used to do pizzas before, and then they just asked if I could do it, and I was like, yeah.
How much has the menu changed in them 5 years? It's pretty similar.
Obviously the mainstays is a marinara and a margarita, and then everything else kind of changes. We've always kept the hot sauce on since day one, because people are just
That's good hot
yeah,
sauce.
people
Man. You could bowl that hot sauce.
Yeah, people want to jar it and stuff, or come in. There's a guy that comes in like every Saturday and buys a cup of hot sauce and takes it with him. Mental, but yeah, fair enough. So those are the only two that stay on. We say that we've got a puttanesca, which has been on more or less in some form from day one.
That's the one. That's my one. I'm
And then we've got a
obsessed.
Bianca, the white pie, which originally was like a smoked cheese and stuff. That was on all the time, but we do take that off now and then. And we always put on the vodka, not all the time, but we bring it back. And that was one of our very first items where everyone was like, what the fuck is this? Like, and then people were like, okay, cool. Right. So yeah, that one's cool. We like bringing that. That one's on currently, but that one changes or gets tweaked every single time we put it on. Could be like originally we did it with like a house sausage we made, and now it's with andouille. We've had it with like salami and pepperoni, etc. So, but yeah, it's a popular one.
You got that mushroom one back on. Is that still on at the moment?
We took that off last week actually. Yeah,
That's a good pizza.
yeah,
That is.
yeah. That one went well actually. But no, I think that's the joy. You keep it moving, keep it interesting. Yeah, and everyone loves the garlic butter, which I hate, because everyone just, if you take it off, people just cry. But I think one day I might be like, fuck it, I'll take it off. I did that, and then Ellie always takes the piss at me, because if something gets really popular, I'll be like, let's just shelf it for a bit and see. And then people will just like, but then,
Do you find the starters and the sides are a good area to sort of put your creativity
yeah,
into
because
as
originally
well?
pizza come after. Like we worked in kitchens for a long time before pizza come along. Do you know what I mean? So that's where all the other, I suppose, the UCB French techniques, and we like constantly looking at something or going to eat somewhere and learning something. It's never sat still. I kind of think like you get some chefs where they've been trained by really good chefs for a number of years, and I didn't get the chance to that because I started so late. So I've had to kind of like research, put a lot of work in, develop, go out, speak to people, and like try and, you know, I always kind of felt like you got to catch up or keep working, keep going. So I kind of feel like definitely not self-taught, but a lot of things that I have learned in the past, say 6-7 years, have been through myself going to read, learn. YouTube's another good one. Like, there's just so much out there that and that's what I love about my job is you never know everything. And as soon as you touch another cuisine, you start again, basically. Like looking at like what Sam does upstairs at Kobako, like I don't have a clue what he's doing, but it's ridiculously interesting. And then obviously he's another talented chef in Birmingham. Yeah. So that's what I love about it, is that it's always something to learn, to eat. Yes, always exciting, because cooking with wood fire is crazy. It's like different every day. You try and like, you know, tame it and whatever, but it kind of does its thing. You get it to the temperature and off you go. But like cooking a lobster in there is great. Or we used to like cook hand-dive scallops and stuff like this. But it's great. People love it. Like, and that's what we like to do as well. We put like a really nice tartare on. You know, the things that I kind of wanted it so you could come for a pizza, or you could come and just have the plates. Yeah, it's quite small at the minute because we've there's not many of us. There's only me and Ellie currently, staff-wise. So we kind of. But I suppose that's the joy of it. We can adjust for staff purposes if we need to or not, I guess.
It's a lamb fat potatoes.
Yeah, I was
Oh
gonna
my
say, I'm
days,
sure that I
so
came here,
good.
might have been like just a few weeks after opening, and there was lamb fat potatoes, Marmite, garlic bread, and then bone marrow, and I was like, I don't care about the pizza. I just want to go and eat all of them.
Yeah, I always wanted like a massive inspiration in St. John. Like I think that's one of a lot of chefs will say that, I guess, but like been a few times and just everything's just nice. It's just right. And obviously everyone loves the bone marrow, and I wanted to do that here and cook it through the wood-fired oven and stuff. And yeah, that was great, especially with our bread. But yeah, that's more just produce led. We don't really do anything. We just cook it through the oven, and then the parsley salad and the nice bread and yeah. But the lamb fat potatoes, I don't know how I come onto that. I think when we had the rock box at home, I had some lamb fat, and then we did like a little pizza party for people, and then we had some potatoes, and I was like, oh, I'll do lamb fat potatoes, and I'll put anchovies with that one and mint, and I was like, I'm going to put this on the menu. That was like weeks before we opened, and I was like, I'm going to put this on the menu. But obviously I took the anchovies out because people are a little bit funny, can be a little bit funny with them. But yeah, that was really good. That was with Sharp's Express potatoes that we used to get from Carol's Heritage Potatoes, which aren't there no more due to COVID, which is a shame. But yeah,
It was nice.
yeah, they're a favourite. We talk about them a lot actually. We had when we did like a little chef snacks, we get like the bread, and we used to culture our own butter, and then have those like a little chip sandwich, or should we say chip butty? So black but yeah, that was a delight. Man.
Well, that's it. You find a lot of chefs, the good stuff on their menu, it's come from things like that. If you go to Ravine Rabbit, every time you go there, I tried this last night, so I put it on the menu.
Yeah, and yeah, it's incredible as well. We went not long ago, but yeah, what they're doing there is special. It's really good for the city.
You might have just answered with the whole St. John's, but you say you'd never got a chance to go down the traditional route of working with other chefs. If you could work for any chef in the world, who would it be?
St. John would be up there, Fergus, but also Lee Tiernan of Black Axe. If you read his book, he's quite similar. He started later, and he felt the need to constantly push. But yeah, he'd be cool to work with. I don't know if that would be the answer off the top of my head. I'd say that just because of the similarities of starting late and feeling the need to try and push.
Yeah.
And obviously his restaurant's incredible.
Well, I've got the St. John books and the Black Axe Mangle book, and they're both, even just for reading, they're great books.
Yeah, incredible.
Some of them stuff you couldn't make anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do the lamb brain burger in the St.
Oh,
John
yeah,
book.
yeah.
Like, my wife went, you're not making that.
But
there is a lot of stuff in there. That
Yeah,
you can.
there's a lot.
Like
It's
quite
an
simple.
accessible book.
Yeah.
But it's just the reading, it's incredible. You're like, you can't put that in there, and then they do, and then it works.
Yeah. Well, they say that's what started British cooking. Well, that's the identity, I guess. The nose to tail, and everyone's gone from that.
You also do an incredible Sunday dinner here, didn't you? Roasting. How long has that been on for now?
We started that last winter. So we did it for about 8 months, I guess, and then stopped for the summer. Not much of summer. And yeah, we'll bring it back in autumn. But yeah, that is a busy one.
Because everyone raves about it.
Yeah,
For
it's,
anyone you speak to, it's like, yeah, go have the roast dinner.
Yeah, a lot of work goes into it. A lot of work. We're starting on the Tuesday, getting all the stocks ready, and then Sunday. It's a big old ask, and it's always packed, and you're always busy. But they're good. They're a good day to work, and it's popular.
That gravy is like a star, isn't it?
Yeah,
It binds everything together. Everything's so good though. I remember I was like, I had a mild panic, a bit stereotypically Irish. I seen there was no roast potatoes on it, and I was like, oh man, there's no roast potatoes. I was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna book it. And I didn't tell my missus because she's the same. And then like we were walking down, and I said, there's no roast potatoes on this, She's like, there's no roast potatoes. I was like, it'll be good there. I guarantee it's gonna be good. And then she sat there and she went, oh, I don't care about the roast potatoes. There was what did you have instead?
The dauphinoise.
Dauphinoise.
Yeah.
That was way better than any roast potato I've ever had. It was unreal. And even now, she's like, when are they doing the roast dinners again? When are they doing the roast dinners again?
The roast potatoes is a funny one because I love roast potatoes, but cooking in the oven, because obviously with some things you've got to reheat. and they don't reheat well.
Yeah.
That's why when you go for a lot of Sunday roasts, they get let down by the potatoes, because you can't, like when we was doing them upstairs, we would put like a few batches on all through the day and try and keep them as fresh as possible, so you don't have to. But in at that temperature, you can't. And obviously cooking a dauphinoise on there is great. Obviously that's back in the day with the boulanger potatoes and stuff, when they're finished with the ovens, the embers, you cook it in there. But yeah, I just originally it was to simplify, but they take ages to make. But yeah, a lot of people say that. They're like, you got no roast potatoes? They're like, you don't need the roast potatoes. Yeah, I kind of try and have it so it's just that point where it's almost, I think when you have one of the roast dinners, it's like that point just before it's too rich. It's just about right.
Yeah.
The gravy, the pork is like, obviously we comfy the pork and then cook it through the oven. And the dauphinoise, it's all big. It's been really well received, which obviously they'll be back soon. But yeah, you get people come every week. I was like, I couldn't eat one every week. I think I've had 2 since we've done them. Sometimes we'll have like little bits and pieces, but I think I sat and ate 2. And I don't want to sound like a dickhead, but I was like, yeah, actually they're pretty good. Me and Ellie will just be like, have a service and have one, and be like, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
That's
like
it.
fresh twice, yeah, in that time.
That's it. I'm super picky with a roast dinner as well.
Yeah.
This one is fantastic.
They're hard to get. They get hard to do. I think I got a lot of flack a few years ago because I was like, you can't get a good one, and people just straight in on me. And then when I come to do one, I was like, I've got to actually try and do a good one because I've chatted a lot of shit. So glad. I'm glad that people do enjoy it. So
Yeah.
There seems to be a common theme that you like to put a lot of pressure on yourself. Where's that come from, or is it just from starting quite late?
I've always had the attitude, if you're going to do something, you might as well do it to the best of your ability. Otherwise, there's no point. You know, I think that's with everything. You might as well go and try the hardest that you can. Like, I don't want to, because everyone's gone for a shit meal. You're just so disappointing spending the money. And I've just always gone with the attitude of, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to try and do it to the best of my ability. And kind of like how I want it to be. Like, same with our pizzas, they're always really dark. That's not because we're shit and we can't do it. It's that's what I want to do. I want to make a bold bake. And for some people, it's too much. That's absolutely fine. But I think you've got to put yourself under pressure. Like I say, I kind of feel like I haven't had that person to push me in my career, really. So I kind of try and keep pushing myself to keep improving and learning and getting better. But yeah, I think you need it. Sometimes it's, say, like a pop-up or something. Like, oh, shall I do what I don't know? And then I'll just be like, just book it in. Then the pressure's there and it gets done. And you're like, oh, this is, you know, it pushes you on, it keeps you going. So yeah, I've always had that drive to keep it moving, keep going forward.
Yeah, because that's crazy. Because I was going to talk to you about pop-ups. You could just have an easy life and just chill here, keep doing amazing food from here. But for some reason, you've decided to put yourself out there and try and do something completely different.
Yeah.
Mental. Tell us about your pop-ups.
So pop-ups started in Poly just to do something fun. We've done a pasta one. We've done a take on like a piri chicken for all the wood-fired oven. They're just fun to do and something that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because obviously if this is your job, you do it all the time. Obviously it's something new every day, but let's try this, or, you know, try and make this really good. Especially if something's missing or you feel like something's missing. And obviously then last year started Pinata, which has been crazy. But that again was due to going somewhere, and it was honestly one of the worst meals I've ever had. And I was like, this can't be the representation of what this food is, the culture is and everything. And like, believe it, I'm not just saying this, like back when I started, one of the things, I went to Mexico a few times, and Mexican food was what I was interested in before I started working places. But when you don't know, when you're green, shall we say, you think you can just pick up a book and be like, oh yeah, I'll do this. And then when you look, you're like, fucking hell, I can't do none of this. I don't, you know, it's took a long time to get to that point of being like, all right at it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of work has gone into it, a lot of research, and I'm happy with how it's turned out, to be honest. So far.
It's incredible.
We
It's
love
so good.
So yeah, an easy life. I don't know. It's just gone, I suppose, itchy feet all the time. And just kind of, and sometimes you guys must do it as well. You must think, oh, I want this food, and you can't get it. Mexican was one of those foods where it's like, I really want some of this, and then
Well, we'd been saying it for years. I mean, I think if you go back to the
Mexican,
early podcasts, we were saying there was just no good Mexican food in Birmingham.
Yeah, I know.
There was no
when we
pizza.
started.
Remember when we first started? We were
There
like,
wasn't many good
there's no
pizza places either, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Polly came, Smoking Ash. There was
Yeah.
loads all of a sudden.
Yeah,
It just
Smoking
went-
Ash.
Sort of just came along at once.
And then even like at the bottom end of it, Rudy's came along, and it was like, all right, we're
there's
pretty good
loads
for
now.
pizza.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. It's on to the
yeah,
next one.
like
now.
5
Yeah.
years ago,
Yeah.
before this, like that would have been great.
Yeah.
The Mexican was definitely something missing
Yeah.
5 years ago, anyway, or
Yeah.
recently.
I think the best compliment was, I'm really sorry, I can't remember his name. The photographer dude, really cool.
Alberto.
Alberto.
Yeah.
He said it was. I can't remember which dish it was he was talking about now, but he said it was exactly like from
Home.
back home.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah,
was
that's
like, yeah.
those are the ones where it's like, okay,
I think it
I'm
was
on the
a
right.
comment,
I'm on the
yeah.
right.
Was it the pasta?
It was it's his Baja fish taco he loves because
yeah,
that's where he's
that
from.
was
He's from
it.
Baja.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
And so I didn't meet. I'd never met him before. I think he used to work at Brewdog. I saw him around, but I didn't know him. And then Sean was like, "Oh, he's going to come and take some photos." I was like, "Yeah, cool." And we just got speaking, and I give him one, and then that's it. We've been really good friends ever since, so that's really nice. But I'll always message him and ask him questions. And he's like, "I don't even know this. Where are you getting this from?" But what's really nice is there's been a few Mexican folk that have come to the pop-ups and keep coming. And I've made friends with them, and they one of them wanted to come and work with me, which I'll try and make happen at the next one. So that tells me I'm on the right track. They always say that about the salsas, which is like, because
That's like the main. You got to
yeah,
get
that's
the
the
starting
one,
point,
yeah,
and you got to
and,
get that right first.
but the guy there's a Mexican chef who wants to come and help me, which is I'm more than happy to, because he's really good, and ask him loads of questions as well. We talk for ages. Before he saw me, he was like, "Is the chef Mexican?" I was kind of like, "Yeah, I'm doing all right." So yeah, that's nice to hear. But no, I just think I love the food, but he always says like, "Where do you come with combinations?" And I think it's just something that because it's new to me, I take things from everywhere. I use ghee, I'll use this, that, the other, and obviously try and keep the traditions there, but then obviously add a little bit of this, that, the other.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of Italian folk that come in don't like, that they'll put like, "Oh, you put honey on this, or you do this," and it's like, okay, it's a bit weird, but
That's it. The desserts. What's that mezcal banoffee pie that you?
and the
The
piñata one,
piñata,
yeah. It's just like it's taking ingredients that from Mexico and then be like, "Oh, what can I do with this?" Especially if I don't know, because I'm still learning about the food as well. Do you know what I mean? Like each one I try and do something different, something new to learn, and try and get my pronunciations right. So,
Is there any books you'd recommend to help anyone? Because I've got a lot of Mexican books, and I love. It's probably my second favorite type of food.
yeah, I've got loads.
But there's some books.
Let
I
me
think you
call-
messaged me about one of the books.
Yeah,
I
let
got
me.
recently,
Yeah,
and that
one of
was
you
a good
brought them,
one.
didn't you?
Yeah,
and
the pink one.
Yeah, that was
I
really
forgot
good.
the name of it now. Which
I've
is
got
typical.
loads. I'd have to come back to that and give you those ones. I
Yeah.
can't remember. off the top
If
of
you
my head.
email us a list, and
Yeah,
just,
I'll
stick
them
a
out.
list in
yeah, I've
the
got a
show
really
notes.
good. Well, I've got shitloads now.
So I was the same as you. No one was doing it, so I was like, "Fuck, I'll just learn how to do it myself."
But you, when you start reading, you're like, there's a lot to learn. Of
You've got to
course.
order a lot of different chilies off the
Oh,
internet.
mate, yeah, I spent a lot of money at like Cool Chili and Mexi Grocer and all those
Yeah,
type of places.
there's so many different dry chilies, isn't there? It's insane.
But now I'm friends with like Alberto and stuff. When he'll get people to bring stuff that I can't get, but I'll get it and I'll be like, "I don't know what this is." So it's back to the drawing board, trying to learn what it is and what I can do with it. So that's always interesting and exciting, I suppose.
Do you ever open a Mexican restaurant?
I guess so, but it's not something like piñata was like for fun, like kind of trying to create a vibe. And I've still got a lot of. I don't think I'd be comfortable opening it now. I still feel like I've got a lot to work on. I haven't even touched on like masa and making my own tortillas because it's such a process. Just for like a 1-day event, it doesn't make sense. And you'd have to do it properly. You gotta get like all the equipment to mill the corn, the nixtamalized corn and stuff like that. So it'd be, if I did do it, that's what I would do, because I'd want to do it properly.
Yeah.
But I still feel like I've got a lot to learn before I even look at that. I'm quite happy doing the pop-ups and keep like just messing around and having fun with it, to be honest.
I'm quite happy coming to them.
Yeah, good. Like I try and like I say, I try and keep it interesting. But it's more for me that's just constantly learning something new, and obviously learning new cuisine. I'll try and do some more over the next months, but yeah, it's just when I can fit them in, basically.
The beauty of like coming here from the beginning and carrying on coming here often and then coming to your pop-ups, it really feels, and it was always awesome. But I feel like at the minute, like you were at the top of your game. Like
yeah. It's good to hear.
Polly at the
Thank
minute
you.
is on another level, isn't it?
Yeah,
Do you feel that in in yourself? Do you feel more confident, or is it?
yeah, I think the issue with pizza, I think people think it's easy, and when you trust me, when we first opened, it was an incredible summer, and it was always hot. And dough, when you first open a restaurant and you're busy all the time managing that, we had to like get another fridge in quickly because it was going through so much. And then sometimes I'd be here till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning making dough, hoping it works. That is stress and pressure, more so than like working in hotels and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
because if your dough's fucked, then you're done. You can't do anything.
Yeah, there's
it's not like I
nothing the
can
next day.
add anything. You're done. So, but
So many things can affect it:
Yeah,
the
it's,
temperature, water.
yeah, and water temps and
Yeah.
salt levels and all that type of stuff. But that's a joy of it as well, I suppose. Like being that like anal with it. But
If you say so.
yeah, but if it goes right, that's the joy. If it doesn't, you're like, what the fuck have I done wrong? Because you do the same thing every time. You kind of like, but we constantly still tweak the dough because obviously if it's really hot, then we switch like percentages of water and stuff. So it all depends on what the day is saying. But I feel like we have a very consistent product now. The dough is always, touch wood, good. That's a very kind comment, but yeah, I think we're very consistent now. I think that's what I wanted to be with a product that isn't that consistent, if you know what I mean. I just got like I don't know, just got a lot of energy to mess around with stuff and do pop-ups and work with people.
Yeah.
I'm always open to that. So yeah.
I was going to say, is the collab thing something you'd go down?
Yeah, I did one with Sam upstairs. That was a really, really cool one. We did like a lamb birra ramen.
Yeah, I seen that. I wanted to come down, wasn't it? Yeah.
And that was really cool. And we've talked about doing another one. I've talked to Ash about doing one. But when it's just getting the times lined up, because obviously everyone's busy in the industry. Obviously I work with Sham a lot. It's interesting and I can do something cool for the city. I'm always open to that.
Is there another type of food that you haven't done yet that you want to have a go at next?
I kind of need to calm down with it all, to be honest. I always look, my missus would say like I'm obsessed with cookbooks, and we had to build like an alcove and it's literally just full. So I'm always into reading something.
Yeah, I'm the same. Once we're getting our
but,
kitchen done up, I'm getting an area built just for cookbooks.
It becomes a hobby. It's just like,
Well, I just read them now.
Yeah,
I get them
yeah.
and just read them. I don't even
have you
cook
read
out
that
for
one?
them.
It's like, I will do. Yeah. You know what I mean? You just get them. There's a lot. Thai. That'll be another one. But then that's another thing where it takes so much to learn. And there's people doing that quite really well in Birmingham. So it was kind of, I'm quite happy to go and eat there. But I love eating that. Like I make an all right masa man.
It's good
but
as
I like
well.
taking like a day and just making that, like making your paste and all that type of stuff. But no, I'm going to stick with pizza and Mexican at the minute. I have looked over at the Persian side of things and the Turkish, and I really do like the grilled meats and all that. But I'll leave them. There's plenty of that to eat. Because I still got a lot to learn with pizza as well. So there's a lot of me to keep me busy.
What's the best thing about being a chef?
I suppose creativity. One of those people I've got to constantly be doing something, and my mind's constantly going. I suppose that's the best thing. And it is nice when getting compliments saying, appreciating the food and stuff like that. That's always nice. But I think for myself, it's all about the creativity and constantly learning.
A lot of people forget that it is a creative job.
Yeah.
It's a very artistic kind of license.
Yeah,
to it.
it definitely is. And you get out what you put in. You put a lot into it, and you kind of find your way.
So we get quite a lot of like chefs, young chefs, all kinds of age chefs listening. What advice would you give to anyone just starting out? I was going to say young, but there could be like you where they're a little bit older.
I think with anyone that's worked with me, the only advice I always stick to, or I tell everybody that comes to work with me, is make sure if you're going to do it, you've got to kind of love it, because it's so fucking hard. It's hard. Like there's no doubt about it. You can't hide. The hours are long. The work's hard. It's stressful. You have to love it to keep doing it. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people really talented, don't love it, and then they'll go and do something else, which is absolutely fine. But you kind of find that the people that are in it are the ones that really do love it. That's like the only advice I would give. Like, make sure if this is what you want to do, make sure it is what you want to do. I suppose you got to dip your toe in and find that out.
Yeah.
But you find out that very quickly, I find.
I don't think there's an industry where you find out faster.
Yeah,
it's like straight away.
It's brutal. Yeah.
I'm out of my depth here. Like, I did it. I went and the Hilton. I can't remember, Marriott or something in town.
Yeah.
Marriott, you were.
Yeah, and I went there and I was all excited. I thought I was going to be a big chef. I was going to live my dream, and I think it was after like a day. I was like, "Oh shit! Like, I am out of my depth." Yeah. I think I said it before. I wanted to cry. I think I might have went to the fridge and cried. And,
Yeah.
but it wasn't so much how much I felt like I was drowning. It was looking around and seeing how much everyone was loving it. You know, them chefs, they wouldn't have been anywhere else when the shit was going down. They wanted to be there. They loved it. You could see the fire in their eyes. And I was just like, oh no, I've got that. I'm out of it. You know, and I was done after like 2 days, I think.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. But yeah, it's like a biz service. It's you can't replicate it really. And I've got a really good friend, Pascal Lebanon Cherry. He's a really good chef, and he obviously he's a really good baker as well. But he always talks about missing the buzz of service, and you always get that, I guess.
Even like
it's because it's kind of like build up like your day. It kind of builds, and then service is like what you.
Showtime.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's the only advice I'd give. Just make sure that you really want to do it, man, because trust me, you find out if you don't. Yeah.
Have you ever had any hard moments that you learned a lot from? You were like, they pushed you right to the edge, and then you thought, you know what, I can't do this. And then you kind of come back around and thought, actually, I can learn from this and actually move forward.
I think when you fuck up, especially when you take everything so personally, and you know, also you get bad reviews and stuff like this, you always look into them way too much. I've always been one to put your hands up, and I'll try and say this to everyone: just put your hands up. If you've messed it up, let's get it dealt with and learn from it.
Not just one big thing, more of lots of constant little things.
Yeah, and it happens all the time. We mess up loads. You know, I say we mess up loads, make us sound unprofessional and that. But you know what I mean? I think bad service is the ones that, like, you know, if you know you haven't hit the rhythm, you haven't, you know, people have been waiting a little bit too long, or this, that, the other, or they're the ones that like piss you off a little bit. Yeah, I think you've always got to hold yourself accountable, and that's the only way to learn. You've got to take the responsibility and push on. Cool.
We're over an hour. Surprisingly, it goes fast.
Yeah, it does go fast. Yeah.
We just always finish with Carl's questions, which just a light-hearted,
just so people get to learn a bit more about just what you like in your life. What's your favourite TV show?
Favourite TV show? Narcos.
It's a good one.
Yeah, let's go with that one. Loads of people say Sopranos and stuff like that, but yeah, I love Narcos. It's cool. The vibes are great.
Yeah.
Obviously, the subject's fucking terrible. But I really did enjoy that show.
What's your favourite movie?
Big Trouble, Little China.
Oh, what a great film.
Yeah, there you go.
I watched that while getting a tattoo cover over my
Really?
I sat there and watching it.
I remember watching it as a kid, and I must have watched it about 50 times. I love it.
Scary as hell when you're a kid as well, isn't it?
It's got everything, man. It's got everything that you want. I'd go with that one.
That's a good answer. What's your favourite band or artist?
Kendrick Lamar.
Good answer.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like when I was younger, but no, let's stick with that. He's a talent.
He's a visionary, isn't he? He's just moving boundaries now.
Yeah.
Although he's beef with Drake at the moment. It's got some fun stuff going on.
I was obsessed with that just on Twitter, just like just reading through it, like wasting hours of my day just reading bullshit theories and all that.
You got a lot of cookbooks. Do you have a favourite?
I'd say the St. John one is probably my favourite cookbook. Like you said, just for the story, you can just read it back to front.
Yeah. Do you have a favourite big fast food chain?
Smash McDonald's.
Yeah.
But is it my favourite? Is it my favourite? I'm not sure, but I think you get so many food snobs these days, and there's always a time and place for some of these things. Like, do you know, like however many years ago, there's a craft beer phase or whatever. If you want to drink a crispy lager, pepperoni or a Stella or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And some people that are just turn their nose up at you or whatever.
I do
like,
think some
you know
people
what I mean?
can be really snobby about
Like,
these type of
there's
things.
a time and a
aren't
place.
they?
On a boiling day, there's nothing better, man.
Well, I was in
Obviously,
Marylebone and there was nothing open 2 weeks ago. The only thing was open, McDonald's.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, strawberry milkshake, nuggets on the side, Big Mac meal. It's a pretty set order.
Yeah,
What do you order
yeah.
if you go there?
I love the fillet of fish.
You know what?
The-
Chefs, all chefs are the only people that ever say fillet of fish.
Fillet of fish. Oh, mate, that's what fish burns based on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they are. I don't know what they do to the buns of those. They're obviously everyone talks about the buns. They are unreal.
Wasn't that thing where they had to put I don't know if it's a rumor or if they had to put pickles in the burgers because the buns were that sweet. It was classed as a sweet.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure on that one, but yeah, love a fillet of fish. And I'd say the other one, I'd smash a quarter pounder or a Big Mac. They're one of those, but I normally stick to fillet of fish and I'll have a little cheeseburger on the side and apple pie as well.
Oh, you know, I've not had the apple pie. Have you had
Never
one?
had an apple pie.
No, I've never had the apple pie there.
Did you have
Ever.
the one we did at Bonehead? No, did you come to the Fishbone?
No, I never went to Fishbone.
Yeah, we
no.
did our own apple pie, like deep fried.
Oh,
Have you
no.
not
It
had
sounds
apple pie?
great. I've heard they're
Oh,
harder than
mate.
the sun,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
nevertheless.
They used to be like brutal, but they're all right now.
Yeah.
You can eat them, but definitely have them.
Yeah. I've never had a fillet of fish either.
On a Sunday when I'll tell you what, the McDonald's breakfast as well. That is special as well.
I like the egg McMuffin.
Yeah, the
Hash
sausage
brown
egg
on the
McMuffin.
side. And the coffee's
We,
good. I know people are snobby about
I won't-
coffee.
yeah, you know what? That one.
I don't know. I like the flat white from McDonald's. Something about it.
For the price.
Yeah, for like
How
a
much are they?
pound. It's like
Yeah,
£1.20 or
I
something
think
like that.
Alistair would kill me if I had to turn it away.
His coffee's a different level
Oh,
altogether. to be
yeah,
fair.
he is unreal.
Legend.
But the once he, on a Sunday, we sometimes get a McDonald's breakfast in, like me, Ellie, and some of the guys. And I didn't know you could order milkshakes. So I ordered a vanilla milkshake and poured one of these espressos in. That's good.
Yeah, that does sound
He wasn't
good,
happy
actually.
with me, but yeah, delicious. I'd say that one, McDonald's, off the top of my head.
Leo Couture was saying that the fillet of fish is always so good because it's one of the only things they don't hot hold.
Yeah, they do
they always
auto
make 'em
order, yeah,
fresh,
and you
yeah,
can tell them.
Yeah.
I don't know how they get like the cheese like half up the box, half on the thing and that, but it's probably because they're pissed off that they have to fucking make it.
He
And
says he
like,
changes it as well on the machine. He says you can do something different to it, like add lettuce or not add lettuce. Does it come with lettuce on?
no, it doesn't come with lettuce, but
I think
you
he
could
said add
add
lettuce.
You could
Yeah,
add
I think
lettuce.
he
And you
says
can
you
add
add lettuce.
pickles as well, and that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, box standard with cheese or with lettuce and pickles. Give it a go, man. It's
Nice.
definitely worth it.
Other than Birmingham, what's your favourite food destination that you've been to in the world?
Lisbon, maybe.
That's come up so many
Yeah.
times.
Lisbon, the
It's
seafood's
high on my
ridiculous.
list to go.
Yeah, the seafood's great. Obviously, went to Napoli. That was incredible for pizza and stuff, and ice cream. Well, gelato and stuff. But,
Yeah.
Lisbon, I think, yeah, is up there. Yeah, I'd say Lisbon. Let's stick with that. I'd like this really good like rice with octopus and red wine and stuff.
Oh,
and it's
I
just
love
like,
octopus.
and then like the seafood is just unreal. Yeah, let's do it. And obviously the pastéis de natas. Polishing off 20 of them in like a couple of days.
Yes.
They're like crack. So yeah, no, I'm going to stick with that one. Yeah.
Good answer, man. Well, thank you very much. I'm done.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant.
Awesome.
Cheers, Matt.
No worries.
Absolutely love this episode. We've just been wanting to do it with Matt for a long, long time. But we're lucky, really, because this has felt like the best kind of time to do it. I feel like we've reached him at his...
I think we
up
couldn't
here.
have picked a better time to interview him, to be
Yeah.
honest.
But then saying that, it might carry on getting even better, and then we'll be like, well, we can just get him on again. So,
Yeah, it'd be worth doing, I think.
Yeah. So thanks again to Matt. Thanks to Polly for letting us film. Thanks to our sponsors, Burning Barn Rum, Easy Food. Really appreciate your sponsorship and support. And thanks to you for listening or watching. See you all next week for... I hope you all like whiskey.
I do.
Grind and glass. Awesome.